In this lesson, we're going to be talking about measuring volume in cubic centimeters. So the first thing that I want to draw to your attention is I know that you guys don't have cube blocks at home. Now, when I'm talking about cube blocks, I'm talking about the multicolored ones that you guys piece together and they can build different shapes. Um, when we're doing these activities for this section, I want you to think about those blocks. Now, if you happen to have some at home, go dig them out. Otherwise, we're going to have to use a little bit of our imagination or other things that we might find in our house. So I know we talked yesterday or last lesson about different things that we have that are all the same. If you have a bunch of cubes, whether they be building blocks, from your younger sibling. Lego blocks would work. They're not perfect cubes, but they'll be good enough for what we're doing. If you have a large amount of dice in your house, those types of things will be very helpful with this. So if you do have them, you may want to go grab them. It would help you in understanding a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to do my best to just explain it on here. So a centimeter cube has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. So if you think of those colorful blocks, they are 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So no matter which side of it I measure, it's going to be 1 centimeter in length. So we use cubic centimeters as a way to measure volume or how much room there is inside a shape. Now, if we think back to exploring volume, we'll remember that when we had the sugar cubes fit inside a box, those fill up in more space than the oranges did. There's not a bunch of wiggle room in between the sugar cubes. So that's why we like to use this as a measurement in order to have a better understanding of how much space something takes up. Now, another thing I do want to talk to you about is the way that we write it. So a cubic centimeter is written as 1 cm, which is centimeter, and then a little 3. So when we did area, we had a little 2, which meant squared. When we have this little 3, it's called an exponent, and it's actually written not on the same line as centimeters. It's kind of up and smaller. And that is our measurement for cubic measurements or for volume measurements. So I have a box here. It says it holds 4 rows of 6 cubes or 24. So the volume of this box is 24 cubic centimeters. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks this way. So if I counted them all, there would be 24 in total, or we know from area that I can multiply them. So 4 times 6 is 24. Now this box is only 1 cube high, so we don't have to worry about how many layers we have of that. Now, if I were to have another box that has 2 layers, for example, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes on the top layer and 8 cubes on the bottom layer. So 8 cubes in each layer means that I have a total volume of 16 cubic centimeters if I were to count up how many are in there. Now, I can also have irregular shapes. So, for example, this shape here is not a perfect box. It's kind of just a random collection of cubes, but I can still figure out the volume of it by counting how many cubes. So at the bottom, I have 4 across and 2 deep. So I would say that there are 8 on the bottom and 1, 2, 3 on the top. So 8 plus 3 is 11. So overall, I have 11 cubic centimeters that this shape here comes up or has. Now, you can do for this assignment what I did where I counted and sort of had to reason it out a little bit. If you have square items, go grab them. You're going to need them, or you won't need them, but they will help you as we move into our practice questions. So here, try and determine the volume of each of these shapes. These ones you should be able to figure out based on the drawings. Some of them you'll have to guess a little bit. So you don't quite know what's going on in the back corner, but make your best guess as you go through. This last question here is a bit of a challenge question. So if you do this one, awesome. I'm actually going to create a Flipgrid for this challenge question if you would like to try it. So it'll be linked in the assignment or in the Google Classroom material post for this. probably a little bit later on Monday or maybe Tuesday morning. So if you are working on this, it is a challenge question. You do not have to do it, but I look forward to seeing how you reason through it if you choose to.